With Memorial Day around the corner, we decided to give you some tips on how to run a successful Memorial Day sales campaign.
Yeah, it is definitely that time of year again, isn't it?
It really is. So, welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is analyzing a playbook titled Selling Solutions, Strategic Memorial Day Marketing for Dealerships. We want to understand why most automotive holiday advertising just, fails completely, and how you can actually bring ready-to-buy customers into the dealership.
Which is something I think a lot of stores are struggling with right now.
Oh, absolutely. And really quick, this podcast is brought to you by DeskReadyLeads.com. If your dealership is tired of leads with no context, no intent, and no real reason to buy, it may be time for a different approach. Visit DeskReadyLeads.com to see how we can help your dealership generate better conversations with buyers who actually have a reason to engage.
Better conversations are exactly what we're talking about today, actually.
Right. So, okay, let's set the stage here. If you're managing a dealership or running the marketing strategy, picture that classic Memorial Day car ad. We all know it.
Oh, yeah, the chaotic one.
Exactly. The screen is like practically vibrating. You've got the giant American flags, digital fireworks just exploding everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe a bald eagle and just...
And those huge neon numbers slapping the screen.
Yes, giant numbers and some voiceover guy just screaming about the biggest blowout event of the year.
Right, and the playbook points out that this is the core problem,
Yeah.
because every single store in your market is yelling the exact same vague phrases.
Like Memorial Day blowout or whatever.
Huge savings, shop now, and the buyer just, they tune it out. You aren't creating demand with that.
You're just kind of joining the noise, right?
Exactly. You're just adding to the noise. To stand out, you have to fundamentally change what the ad is actually selling.
Which makes me think of an analogy. It's like, okay, imagine someone's throwing a big party, right?
Okay.
But when they send you the invite, all they do is yell the date. Like, just Saturday in giant letters.
That sounds like a terrible invite.
Right. They don't tell you what's for dinner. They don't tell you why you should show up or what they're celebrating. You're not going to go just because it's a Saturday.
No, of course not. You need a personal reason. And that's a perfect way to look at it. The source material draws a really important distinction here between urgency and relevance.
Wait, unpack that a little bit. What do you mean by that?
So, the holiday itself, Memorial Day, that is not the offer.
It's just a label on the weekend.
Exactly. The holiday gives you urgency. It's the timing mechanism. But the relevance, the reason to care, that has to come from solving a specific buyer problem.
Right, because Memorial Day sale doesn't actually solve a problem for a customer sitting on their couch.
No, it means nothing emotionally. You have to give them a real reason to respond. And the playbook actually outlines 7 specific angles you can use instead of just a generic sale.
Yeah, I was looking at those, and it seems like they kind of fall into 2 buckets, financial anxiety and lifestyle aspiration.
Yeah, that's a great way to categorize them.
Let's talk about the financial ones first, because right now, that hits hard, like the payment relief angle.
Right. Payment relief targets people who are trading into a lower payment. They feel trapped by their current monthly bill.
I mean, we've all been there. It's stressful.
It is. So instead of saying buy a car, the ad says, hey, your payment might not have to stay this high.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's much stronger.
And then there's rate relief, which is for people who bought, say, 6 to 12 months ago when interest rates were terrible.
Oh, I can totally see that working. Like, if I bought a car at a 9% rate, I'm probably pretty bitter about it.
Exactly. Seeing an ad that says, bought when rates were high, let's fix that, feels like a lifeline.
Yeah, it's not a sales pitch. It's like, we can help you.
What about the payment-free summer one? That one stood out to me.
Oh, that's a highly emotional one. People want to drive now, but delay the payments until after all their summer vacations are paid for.
Right, because summer is expensive. Exactly. And the last financial one is trade equity. A lot of people have no idea what their car is actually worth right now.
Right, they're sitting on money and don't know it. So you just tell them, leverage your trade value.
Right. Now, on the lifestyle side, it's more about future pacing, like the family summer upgrade.
Yeah, getting a bigger SUV before you pack the kids up for a road trip.
Nobody wants their old sedan breaking down on a family vacation.
For sure.
Mm.
And the text also mentions truck month for towing and summer work, plus credit approval for people worried about their credit situation.
Yeah, but here's the absolute most critical takeaway from the text on this.
Okay, what is it?
You have to pick the strongest single angle. Just one. Do not cram all 7 of those into a single ad.
Oh, because then it just gets totally watered down.
Exactly. If you try to sell everything to everyone, you end up selling nothing.
Makes sense. Okay, so let's say a dealership picks their one problem. Like, They go with payment relief.
Yeah.
How do they actually design that ad without it turning into that patriotic mess we talked about?
Well, the playbook introduces this concept of the visual junk drawer.
The visual junk drawer. Okay, I have to push back a little here, though.
Go for it.
If I'm scrolling on social media, like endlessly scrolling, isn't a loud, chaotic, neon ad exactly what I need to see to actually stop my thumb? I mean, you need to grab attention, right?
It's a really common assumption, but the text shoots that down completely.
Really? Why?
Because of cognitive load. When you're scrolling, your brain makes split-second decisions about what takes too much mental energy to figure out.
I see where you're going.
Right. So if your ad has 4 cars, 3 payments, some badges, a flag, fireworks, and a QR code.
You just keep scrolling.
Exactly. The brain says, nope, too much work, and just scrolls right past it. The customer literally doesn't know where to look.
Wow. Okay, so chaos actually hurts you? What's the alternative then?
The 3-second rule.
The 3-second rule, meaning they have to understand it in 3 seconds.
Yes. The layout has to be incredibly disciplined. The text says you need 1 headline, 1 clear offer, 1 strong image, 1 call to action, and 1 disclaimer. That's it.
So if it's about trucks, just show a truck.
Just show the truck.
I love the point the text makes about headlines, too. The difference between dealership-centered and customer-centered headlines.
Oh, that's a huge shift in perspective.
Yeah, like a dealership-centered headline is, we're overloaded with inventory.
Yeah.
Or manager special, which basically means, hey, we have a logistics problem. Come spend 40 grand to fix it for us.
Right, and the customer does not care about your inventory problem.
Not at all. But a customer-centered headline is like, is your payment too high?
Right, it makes the person think, wait, that might be me.
Exactly. And there was a really surprising detail in the source about video versus static images.
Yes, the cell phone video approach.
Yeah. It says a simple, unpolished video of a sales manager just talking to the camera can easily beat a highly polished graphic.
Because it feels real. Modern buyers have this filter, right? As soon as they see lens flares and perfect text, their brain goes, oh, this is an ad. Ignore.
But a regular video of a guy saying, hey, are you stressed about your car payment before summer? That slips past the filter.
Exactly. It feels like a real person offering a real solution.
Okay, so let's walk through the mechanics here. You build this clean, targeted ad, no junk drawer. A customer sees it, they say, yes, my payment is too high, and they click. But the text says this is where it all usually falls apart.
It is. It's called the homepage drop, and it's a fatal error.
Let me give another analogy for this one because it drove me crazy reading it.
Let's hear it.
It's like a department store invites you to a very specific shoe sale. You get in your car, you go to the mall, but they drop you off at the very main entrance of the entire mall complex and just drive away.
And say, good luck finding the shoes.
Exactly. You're completely on your own to navigate the store, find the department, and figure out the sale.
Most people would just turn around and go home. And that's exactly what happens online. You cannot send an ad click to your dealership's main homepage.
Right, because if the ad says payment-free summer, the click has to go somewhere that validates that immediately.
It has to go to a dedicated landing page explaining that exact specific offer. Otherwise, they bounce.
Okay, so the goal isn't just getting website traffic, right? Traffic is just a vanity metric at that point.
Traffic is useless if it doesn't convert. The real goal is getting buyers to raise their hand, but with context.
Context is the key word there.
Yes. Your lead form or your chatbot shouldn't just ask for name and number. It needs to ask, what is your current payment, or do you have a trade-in?
Which makes total sense, because then when the BDC, the Business Development Center, when they get that lead, they actually know what to say.
Exactly. The CRM notes are crucial here. If the CRM just says Facebook lead, the BDC rep has nothing to go on.
They'll just call and say that generic line, hi, are you interested in a vehicle?
And the customer is immediately annoyed.
Because they just spent 5 minutes reading about payment relief and filling out a form, and now they have to start all over with a stranger.
Right. But if the CRM note says, customer responded to payment-free summer and may be interested in 130 days of no payments, it changes everything.
The rep can literally open the call with that.
Exactly. Hi, I saw you were interested in our 130-day payment delay. It drives a real conversation, not just a generic follow-up.
Okay, but even if the marketing team builds the perfect funnel, the ad, the landing page, the BDC script, what happens when the actual sales floor doesn't know about it?
Oh, it's a disaster.
Like the leads start rolling in and the floor staff is clueless.
Trust is destroyed instantly. I mean, think about it from the buyer's perspective. You saw the ad, you talked to the BDC, you drove down there.
And the salesperson goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let me go ask my manager.
Right. The customer immediately thinks it's a bait-and-switch scam,
Oh, 100%.
which is why the playbook mandates that you train the team before the launch, before a single dollar is spent on ads.
So if the ad says $49 down, $159 a month, everyone has to know the exact details.
Everyone. The example vehicle, the term length, the rate, the credit qualifications, all of it.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that stood out to me was this idea of authentic urgency versus fake panic.
Oh, fake panic is the worst.
It is. Hurry. Everything must go. Final days. It's so exhausting. And frankly, consumers don't believe it anymore.
No, they see right through it. Real urgency has to be tied to reality.
Like saying, this 130-day no payment option from the manufacturer expires on Monday.
Exactly. Or, we have authorized above-market trade vouchers, but they expire this weekend. It's a logical deadline.
And to build that, the timelines are super important. You can't just throw up an ad on the Friday before Memorial Day.
No, you'll get crushed. The playbook says campaigns need to start 10 to 14 days early.
Wow, 2 full weeks.
Yes. You build momentum. You introduce the problem-solving ads early, and by the time the weekend hits, your appointment board is already full.
You're not just crossing your fingers hoping for foot traffic.
Exactly.
I also want to touch on the 2 untapped markets that Tex mentioned, because I thought these were brilliant. First, the Spanish language campaigns.
A lot of dealerships completely mess this up.
Yeah, because they just take their English ad, run it through Google Translate, and call it a day.
Which just feels clunky and unnatural. You have to build them from the ground up.
Right. And you have to mention things that matter to that community compliantly, like accepting ITN numbers or having zero down options.
And critically, you need a fluent Spanish speaker handling the leads when they come in.
Obviously. You can't run a Spanish ad and then have an English-only rep return the call.
It happens more often than you'd think, and it's a total waste of money.
And this second untapped area was fixed ops, right? The service department.
Yes. Memorial Day is the kickoff to summer travel. People are bringing their cars in for heady maintenance.
Right, checking the AC, getting tires.
Exactly. So if you run a summer travel checkup ad, you get them in the service drive. And then when a customer gets a $3,000 repair estimate on an old sedan.
That's the perfect time to talk about trading it in.
Right. The service advisor walks them to the sales desk, and suddenly you're offering them payment relief instead of a massive repair bill.
That is such a smart way to uncover trade-in opportunities. But how do you even measure if all this is working? Like, we said traffic is a vanity metric, so what should they track?
You have to look way beyond cost per lead.
Okay, so what's the real metric?
Track how many appointments actually showed up. Track which specific angle, like did rate relief or family upgrades spark better conversations.
Right, which one actually led to deals?
And crucially, you have to track which leads died simply due to poor follow-up.
Oh, wow. So finding out if it was a marketing failure or an internal process failure.
Exactly. If the ad worked but the BDC dropped the ball, changing your Facebook graphic won't fix anything.
That's so true. So synthesizing all of this, the main takeaway here is really a massive philosophy shift, isn't it?
It is. A Memorial Day campaign only works when Memorial Day is just the reason to act now, but the buyer's actual problem is the reason they care at all.
Dealerships need to stop just yelling, "We have deals," and start saying, "We understand your situation and here's how we can fix it."
Exactly. Solve the problem, don't just sell the holiday.
I love that. Which leaves us with a final, slightly provocative thought for you to ponder.
Let's hear it.
If your dealership's entire marketing strategy relies on a calendar holiday, waiting for Memorial Day or the 4th of July to generate excitement and urgency, what exactly are you offering your community for the other 300 days of the year?
That's a great question.
Right? How can you manufacture your own relevance and solve actual buyer problems without having to wait for a 3-day weekend? Something to think about.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you on the next one.